Hi everyone, I'm back to share my second design team project for the month of August for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. I will leave links to AngeldreamCraftsKim, the Etsy shop, her Facebook group, and the Instagram so that you can go out and check out everything that's available in the store, sign up to the Facebook group, and on Instagram to follow because there is postings put in with all the new product that goes into the shop, so you get a heads up when new things have been added to the store, so you get a chance at first grabs. A lot of her items sell out very quickly, and so if you want to have a heads up, then being in the Facebook group or signing up for the Instagram, following us on Instagram is the best way to know. And I will leave links to the designers that are designing for Kim, so you can go over and see what they are creating with the beautiful supplies that she has available in her shop. What I'm going to show you is I created a wall hanging. It's a long, narrow wall hanging created using one of the quilt pins from the shop, and then using a lot of little scraps that I had left from many pieces from Kim's store, and then adding in some of my own personal needle tatted pieces, and then a few things from my stash. So I will point out all the things that are from Kim's shop. Some of them she still has available in the shop, so you can go over and pick up some of these goodies for yourself. Making one of these wall hangings is really fun to do, and definitely all you need is little bits. So even if you buy yourself some new trims from the shop and then add them to some of the little things that you have in your own stash, you'd be able to create one of these beautiful wall hangings. I had measured the length. The length is 32 inches long. She is quite long, and so I've got her kind of folded over here on my desk, and I will show sections of it at a time. And she's about 3 inches wide. So this is the bottom. So we'll start at the top. What I did was added a lovely piece of lace to part of the quilt pin so that it's easy to be able to hang this up. You still can see the quilt pin, and then you can adjust it easily on the wall so that it hangs nice and straight. This is one of my tatted flowers, and then this lovely piece here is from Kim's shop. It's one of the braided trims, and I've just sewn on some little pearls, and those little pearls are from the applique that I was shown in my design team package, and that I started to take apart for my last project, and I said I would be continuing to use it in this project. So I used some of the pearls that were the dangle parts. I used some of those to stitch on here. I made the base from some cotton material, and then on the sewing machine I sewed some base laces all the way down the full length with 2 rows of stitching, and then I have stitched and used also embroidery stitches and some gluing, but most of the stitching, or most of this, is all hand stitched on. I enjoy doing the hand stitching, and also you just get a different effect when you only use a tiny bit of glue and then you add in the embroidery stitches and that. The little angel, you might recognize her. She's also from when I took apart that large applique, and I had a couple of the pieces that I used to make the wings for this little angel, and I did show her in my last design team project and said she'd be coming up. I designed her to hang from this wall hanging. This is a trim from Kim's shop. It's an embroidered flat lace, and I just cut only just the scallop part off, and then I added little yellow French knots into the little openings in it here. This is a flat lace from her shop that I had I believe it was last month's design team project, and it's an embroidered lace, and I had a bit left, and I added a piece of that on there, or a couple of pieces. I kind of cut it and fit it, and I added some hand sewn beads into the center of that. These are some of my little needle tatted butterflies and some of the flowers that I've done in the yellow as well. And I've hand sewn on beads onto the center of the butterflies there, and also in the centers of the flowers. This is one of Kim's flowers from her shop. I've just taken off a couple rows of the petals just to make it a little bit smaller. And I've added that to the top of this dangle piece, which is also from her shop. And I added on, hand stitched on a row of some crystal-y and pearl-like beads. This is an applique that I had in my stash, a wedding applique, and I just added that in and added a center into it. The rhinestones around the center of this pearl are actually a rhinestone string from Kim's shop. I believe that's the 2mm rhinestone cup chain that she had or has still in the store. You'll have to go check it out if she still has it. There's this string of pearls here that I stitched all the way down, and this little piece at the end here is all from the dangles from that applique. These are a couple of flowers from a lace that I have, and I just cut them out, and then I did some pistol stitch in the sort of coral pink color and added a flat back pearl to those. This pretty piece here is from Kim's shop. It's one of her pearl dangles, if she still has it in the shop. It's a really pretty piece. This purple piece here with the fringe on the side, I cut the fringe down a little bit, but that's from her shop. The purple applique flowers are just from my stash. This little purple piece here is a trim she has in the shop, and I cut little pieces of 3 of the flowers and then stitched them on with a little bead. This is one of the black little safety pins she has in the shop, and I added 4 little beads onto it and a dangle charm. She has charms in her shop. This one is from my stash. This pretty little crown is from her shop, and I created a fan with a piece of trim from her shop, and I hand stitched on the beads, and I also used the cup chain from her shop again to finish that one piece off. Just this tatted flower I made. This is one of the cabochons. This is one of the lady cabochons from the shop. Her cabochons are gorgeous. She has had floral ones, the lady ones, and the fairy ones. I'm not sure what exactly is in the shop right now, but I'm sure that it'll be on restock because they are very popular. I did some tatting just to around the edge of that pretty cabochon, and then I attached it down with some beads, hand sewn on little beads here, and added another little charm here from my stash. This is a piece from Kim's shop that she had in her shop, another one of her beautiful embroidered netting pieces. And then this is part of one of the leaf trims. And I've just attached that down with some pink threads. This is a dragonfly that she also had a trim with these beautiful dragonflies on it, and I have been hoarding them, and I don't think I've used the trim in its entirety on anything. I have always cut them off singly and put them on projects. So this one I laid here, and then I added some green beads onto it. This is another trim from Kim's shop, the pink daisy trim, and I have sewn it down with using the pearls from that applique again, and put a soda pearl down and attached that there. And another little bit of the leaf trim here, and again attached down with just some sort of couch down. It's called couching when you just use stitches here and there to adhere it down to a project. These little flowers are from one of her flower dangle trims, and I have added those to the project using some green beads for the center and a few more green green beads for accent. And this is what I mean about not using glue, is they all have a little bit of movement because they're not all like completely attached down. All the leaves still move and lift up. And everything, you know, if something lifts up, you're able to see what's underneath it. So you're able to see those leaves that come up behind there and how they're stitched with the pink thread. And I just think it adds a lot of interest to a project. This is a piece off of one of her trims, sort of that looks like leaves, and I attached it down with some green French knots. This was a little bobby pin piece I had in my stash. That was actually a gift to me last year on my birthday from Amy Love. Thank you, Amy. And I've attached one of Kim's little bulb pins on there with some beads and one of her little birds. And those are still available in the shop, and you get a few of them different colors. I used some in my last project as well. They're really cute, little enamel colored birds. This is just a doily piece from my stash. These are roses from the rose trim that is in the store, and I just cut 2 of the roses out and added them here and added a little piece of bling in the center. And this bling piece actually was a gift from Kim, I think like, I'm gonna say 2 years ago. And I've had it in my stash, and I just thought it looked really pretty there, and I did a little bit of tatting around the edge of it. These are another flower dangle in Kim's shop, and I just used the dangle part and positioned the flowers and then added pink French knots to attach them on. And then this is also a piece, a braided bead piece that was in Kim's shop. I think that might be all sold out now, but that was from the shop, as is this pretty, this was a stretch piece. It was stretchy and has all these iridescent sequins on it. And I added that to the side there. You'll see that netting and embroidered trim again. I had used a piece up above as well. This is just one of my little tatted butterflies. This is a piece that I think Amy Love gave me that piece too. It was in a little bag that she gave me with some bling pieces. So that's another piece that I used on there. I thought it looked quite nice. This is a flower from one of the flower trims. I believe that's on the top of this trim up here. These hang down. And I used one of them here, added a bit of a tatted flower and a little clay flower in the center of that one. This clay flower is from my stash, but Kim does have clay flowers in the shop as well. Then I used a bit of bead string here and just couched it down with some pink threads, and then continued that bit of floral down the side here. And you can even see it's peeking out underneath this flower. And I used the pink French knots again to have that stay down. And then a doily with a little bling in the center. This piece here is another one of her, I think it's the same as the one at the top. Yeah, the braided trim from her shop. And I added a gold bead on this one when I stitched it down. And this is just a little butterfly from my stash that I blinged up. A cameo from my stash that I just added on and put some threads behind it. It's another one of her little black pins, which I added some beads on, and then I just stitched it on the side here to the project. This was an embroidered netting piece that I've had left over from, I think, it might even be several months ago from Kim's shop. She often gets these beautiful netted pieces in, and they're very nice for fussy cutting out. And then these little pieces are actually fussy cut off of this trim that was in the shop. So I fussy cut just the end pieces off and tucked them here and here. Then I made a dangle piece out of one of them and hand stitched some pearls onto there. And then this beautiful bling piece is from Kim's shop as well. And this is in a rose gold with a pearl dangle on it. Really, really pretty. I stitched these down onto the project using the little pearls from the dangle applique. And so those are all stitched on. And then the dangles on the bottom are made up of a few different laces. This was the part of one of the laces, and I added on all the flat back pearls, but it was a beautiful trim that she had, or may still have in the shop. And then I added in the leaf trim. The leaf trim goes across the bottom, and then I added in some of my own beads and some of the pearls, and you can see, you'll recognize these pearls, and the pearl ends are from the dangle applique that I cut apart. And then this fringe trim that's in here is also from Kim's shop. She had it in white and pink, and I used that to add some more weight and beauty into that tassel that you can see on the bottom there. The back is just simply finished off. It had the cotton fabric, and I did have to do, I pieced 2 pieces together when I made for this length. To get this length, I'm just going to lay it out here so in sections so you can see it a little bit, a bigger section than what I was showing. And then I'll just briefly show you the back. I did, like I said, it's very long, and I didn't have a long enough cotton piece for the base of it, so I pieced 2 pieces together. There's one of my beaded butterflies on there as well. And so I didn't like, I could have left it the plain cotton on the back, but I didn't really like where the piecing of those 2 fabrics were. Had this one that I showed on the front that I did the pistol stitch on to hold these flowers on. It's actually on a sort of a fabric lace, and I had in my stash, and so I continued to cut out more of those flowers, and I just covered the whole back with them. So you can't really see the join where I joined it together. I mean, if you really want to look for it, you'll find it, but it's not that sort of in your face as it was before. I just didn't care for how it looked. So again, I'll just, one more time, starting from the top, I'll just flip that pretty little angel over. I've just pinned her to the top, so whoever had this wall hanging, they could take her off if they wanted to. The wall hanging is finished underneath with some stitches and some lace, but I think she looks really pretty hanging on there. So again, you got several different colors that I used to create this, along with some of the colored pieces that Kim carried, plus a lot of the other pieces are just in shades of white and cream. But I think it turned out really pretty. I like to call these a snippet wall hanging, because literally it's like a snippet roll. It could be rolled up into a roll. It's just because of all the larger pieces that I put on it, and say the direction of this pin going up and down like this, it would make rolling it up really difficult. And so rather than having it rolled up on your desk and you can't really see it, this could be put on the wall. It doesn't take up very much space. It can be put on in a really tiny little spot on the wall, and you can see all the beauty of all the snippets every time you look at it, rather than having a snippet roll that you only see if you unroll the whole thing. Is my design team project, the second one for the month of August for AngeldreamCraftsKim on Etsy. Please go over and visit the store and have a look. We've been adding lots of new things into the store. She has new laces, trims, bling pieces, sari. There's just new product going in on a regular basis. Go over and have a look, pick yourself up some goodies, check out the designers and see what they're making so that you can be inspired as to what you might want to create. I am going to be taking next month off. September is always my refresh month. It's my birthday month, and I just like to take time off and just do things to help just sort of recharge and refresh. And so I'm going to be doing that next month. I might put up some videos of little things that I'm working on, but other than that, probably just my 52 tags handmade. I'll keep up with that. I will be back designing for Kim again in October. So take care, everybody. Bye for now.